Hello darlings, Marianne here, coming to you from Southern California. And today's topic within past life regression healing is relationships. Now, it's kind of a huge subject, so what I want to talk about is how to figure out what a particular relationship was in a past life. Now, we sort of have, there's two things that will make you, the biggest way to know if somebody has been in a past life with you is two things. One, you'll feel sort of an instant connection with that person, or they're in your soul group, like you're in your family and you just have complex relationships or very deep love and you know you've traveled before. So either one of those things, or there's one other, and that is repulsion, instant repulsion for somebody. And it might not just be because, say, they're a bit negative, we just sort of just unattracted by their distracted by that. What the heck is wrong with me today? Anyway, repelled by their energy. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. So any sort of real strong reaction to somebody will pretty much tell you that you've got some history there. So it can be quite helpful, and talk about speed things up, if you can regress and figure out who this person was in a past life. What was your relationship? What was their role in your life? And I'll give you an example. It's kind of a bit personal, but we've got this friend and it's been a bit of a challenging relationship at times, and I was trying to figure out what this relationship was in another lifetime, because I kind of would feel like this person would text me and I sort of would always feel like they sort of owned me, and this is just a friendship. I'd be like, this is so weird. Why do I feel like I have to text them back like instantly? And like I sort of, like I work for them. Like I keep saying, I feel like they own me, or I feel like they almost like the boss of me. These kind of words, which is a great key to the secret, really. You're going to out yourself if you listen to your own wording. Sometimes it's going to tell you exactly what's going on. So I just sort of put myself in the emotional state of what it is like when this person sort of triggers me. And I very quickly got a flash of a past life where this person literally was my boss and actually was my like slave owner. Basically, I felt like a slave because I was getting kind of beaten by this person. And this is all done without talking to the other person about it. This is something that you just have to sort of clear the karma of it. And by doing, all you have to really do with that really is review it. Now, I've journaled about this person, I've done other things with this person, nothing really worked. But I tell you what, this work is so instant. Because when I saw that, I understood completely, because in that past life, I was in a different caste, like class system, different caste system, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it sort of means the same thing. Younger, different race, and they had everything over me, age, status, race, everything in that lifetime, and so it made me understand why I would feel intimidated by this person, and like I couldn't speak up for myself, and really weird stuff like that. And so just, you still got to see it. It helps to see what the relationship was, not because you want to see yourself suffering or in a compromised position or whatever, or find out anything gnarly. You have to understand that that is the consciousness level you were at that time. And you're not always the victim in these lives. Sometimes you're actually sort of the perpetrator. And you don't want to see too much of these lives where you go back and you find out you're the one that did it. But we've all had those lives. You just have to go back far enough, because the truth is, if we are a victim, we've probably been on the other side of the fence. I hate to say it, but it's almost like, and I'm probably going to get some flack for this, but it's almost like you can't really be the victim of something unless you've been the perpetrator. So we do gnarly shit to each other. Sorry, this is just reality, because it's based on our consciousness level. So in an old life, 1,000 years ago, my conscious level was like shitty. It was like, it's all about me, and it's about my survival, and you're sort of walking around like a bit of a, and this is probably thousands of years ago, not 1,000's probably not enough. This is probably like a long time ago, where our consciousness is very kind of brutal, barbaric, and very survival mentality. Like, there was, thousands of years ago, and not too many thousand years ago, like not that long ago, but a couple of thousand years ago, you know, I was like the rape of women was sort of a way for men to have sex. And I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying that culture in that day was a man wanted sex, he would grab a woman and have sex, regardless of what she thought about it. That was the consciousness level of that day. Thank God we've progressed from those days. But yeah, we've all been victims of that kind of crap. We've all done shitty things to each other. I mean, you name it. So that's why we get triggered by stuff now. That's why we get triggered so badly by injustices, because we see it and it's usually our own guilt. There's two things. There's two reasons why you'll get triggered. Two main reasons. Either you're a victim of that thing that is triggering you, or you have unconscious guilt about that thing. Neither one of those feelings is comfortable at all. And that is why we go off about stuff. That is why, for example, this election has triggered so many people, because it's either their own guilt, God, I'm going to get some hate mail over this, I'm sure, or their own trigger from being a victim to whatever scenario it is that is triggering them. So I'm not going to get into the details of this election, but you know what I'm saying. So think about that. You can't be free of these emotions. They're painful, they're uncomfortable. That's why we want to project out. That's why there's been so much projection around this election, because everybody wants to put their stuff out there onto other people because we don't want to hold it. It's uncomfortable. But you can get trigger free with a little bit of this work. It actually doesn't take a whole ton. Years and years of therapy if you wanted the same result. And I don't even know if you'd get it, because what you want to do is release the unconscious. That's where we keep our stuff buried away, is in the unconscious. Okay, so the conscious mind wants to resolve it. The soul wants to resolve this stuff. And this is why this works so phenomenal, because that's what happens in these sessions, is it gets resolved. So you want to find out who these people are, especially if you're in a relationship that's maybe abusive or really unhealthy and you know you need to get away from this person, but you just can't do it. Great example of a relationship that needs to be resolved so you can be free. So you can stay if you're going to stay, or you can go, but you're not like so torn or so traumatized by staying, right? You want to be free. And whatever that means for you, freedom, right? It's all about freedom. So that is why this is so important with relationships. It can also be fun. Like if you've got a relationship, say you meet somebody and you just like, it could be you just fall madly in love and you're best friends. Or it could be romantic. But say you just, you ever meet somebody of the same gender, if you're straight, and you just love them. Like you're just like, oh my God, this is my new best friend. Well, you could have been sisters before, you could have been brothers before, could have been anything. But there's sort of that camaraderie, there's that kinship. You're just like, oh my God, I love this person. Like you just love their company, you're in sync, it's like your old pals. I think it's a good example, the friendship one, as opposed to romantic love, because it can be so fleeting. And that's its own thing. We'll cover that topic in another session. But yeah, I think that's given you a little bit more insight into the relationship whole thing. That's why you can probably all think of people that you're either been instantly sort of repelled by, or, even somebody that maybe you had to be in business with and you're just like, I just don't know what it is about this person. They just get under my skin. Well, they probably really got under your skin once upon a time, or you've got some old stuff. And yeah, so plenty to say on that subject. And I'm going to use some more case studies because I think it's really interesting, even if I out myself half the time. So if you want to do a regression with me, I would love to work with you. Pretty much say this at the end of all my videos, so I won't repeat myself, but I am available in Southern California or over the phone if you prefer. Or reach out to a regressionist in your area if you're out of the country or some other state. We all work a little bit differently, but we all pretty much get the same results, because you're already, if you're listening to this video, you're already ready. You're already interested. You're already in a place where you'll regress pretty easily, and you're going to come up with what you need to come up with. So really, we're just guides, we're facilitators. We're not the healer. You are the healer. The client is the healer. We're just there to help you along in the process. So just pick somebody you sort of feel a connection with, or you feel, like, okay, I could work with this person. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to get married. You just have to feel like, we could work together. Okay? I'm going to keep rambling if I don't end this video. So lots of love and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.